Welcome back to Medrash Umaisa, sharing a story for this week's Parsha, Parshas Mishpatim. Rav Pinchas Hirshprung Zatzal was, for decades, the beloved Rav, Rosh Yeshiva of Beis Din of Montreal. He was one of the great Talmidim of Yeshivas Chachmei Lebrim. Now, like many great Rabbanim, when they say beloved, a person of principle is not always able to be beloved by everyone. There was a young man in Montreal who came to Rav Hirshprung with a problem. He said that he would like to get married, and his father keeps rejecting any possible shidduch idea that could be. He met a young woman who he feels is a suitable match for him and he would like to marry, but his father put his foot down and refuses entirely. Rav Hirshprung looked into the matter and he agreed that this seemed to be a good match. He tried speaking to the father refused to listen to him. Rav Hirshprung then decided that he would give the young couple the go-ahead to get married, despite the opposition of the chassan's parents. At that point, the father began to call Rav Hirshprung incessantly, and the content of each call was the same but different. He cursed him every time he came up with some kind of different curse. Rav Hirshprung paid no heed to this. The father let it be known that he and the boy's mother would not attend the wedding if it goes through. Rav Hirshprung told them to go ahead with it, and he himself was at the wedding and stayed for the entire wedding and spoke at the wedding. This wasn't the end of the story, though. After this, the father began to slander Rav Hirshprung publicly in any way that he could, tried to attempt to destroy his good name and reputation. At one point, Rav Hirshprung's son came to him and said, "Father, please, I want to defend you. This is terrible, what he's doing." Rav Hirshprung said, "No, I don't think you should." He pointed to a letter of the Rambam. He said, in the collected letters of the Rambam, we find a letter that the Rambam wrote to his son, Rabbi Avram. The Rambam, as is well known, was also attacked by many people for a variety of reasons. And his son, Rav Avram, wanted to defend him. The Rambam said, "No, I don't want you to do so." And his son asked why. He says, there's a concept called Midas Sdom, the attribute of the people of Sdom. And that is applied to a case where Zeh neheneh v'zeh lo chaser. One person is benefiting, and another person, the person who's, let's say, providing the benefit, isn't losing. That a person who would refuse to let someone have that benefit is acting like the people of Sdom. And the Chachamim say, Kofin al midas Sdom. We force a person to provide that benefit rather than to be a Sdom-like person. Rav Hirshprung said, these people enjoy slandering me. He said, that's what they do. And he says, it doesn't bother me. Zeh neheneh v'zeh lo chaser. I don't want to be like the people of Sdom, and therefore don't interfere. In this week's Parsha, we find the warning in Perek Kaf Beis, Pasuk Kaf Zayin, Elohim lo sekalel v'nosi ba'amcha lo so'or. Rashi says that the Elohim lo sekalel is an azhara, both the cursing Hashem's name, but also a warning not to curse a dayan. So it's a very important lesson to realize that a person must never let himself get carried away and become arrogant enough or angry enough to transgress that Isser. And it's also important to value and realize the Rabbanim and the Dayanim that we have, who, like the Dayanim that Yisro told Moshe Rabbeinu to pick, people of Yeres Elokim, Anshe Chayil, Anshe Emes, Onei Botza, people who were true and couldn't be swayed by all sorts of influences and bribes, who were able to combine Mishpat and Chesed, both true judgment and also kindness, as Rav Hirshprung evidenced in this story, his kindness to that young couple, despite the price that he had to pay, and his strength and his sense of truth that allowed him not to be bothered by all the attacks upon him. May we be zocha always to have wonderful leaders who Hashem gives in each generation, and to be able to follow them and to admire them and to support them in their good work. Wishing everyone a wonderful Shabbos.